Breakfast is one of my favorite meals of the day. As a matter of fact, I could eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Well, along with Mexican food, breakfast is at the top of my list. And today, we're going to make an absolutely fabulous bacon and egg breakfast sub. Now, I don't know about you, but sometimes for breakfast, I just run out and hit the drive-thru because it's fast. But once you have this sandwich, you will never hit the drive-thru again. This sandwich is easy to make and it's absolutely fantastic. So the kitchen is open and let's make a bacon and egg breakfast sub. We're going to start off with our prep. We're going to do the vegetables first, then the meat, so I only have to use one board. So the very first thing is I'm going to cut up some Anaheims. You probably only need one. I bought 3 because I'm going to use these in another recipe, so I figured I would just prep them all at once. Prep once and use it multiple times, right? So we're just going to cut the end off. Woo! These have a little bit of kick to them. They are mild peppers, and so they shouldn't be too bad. So let me give these a quick wash. Okay, so I'm just going to cut these in kind of little pieces. I don't want like big, huge hunks of pepper. If you like it really spicy, then by all means, right? Get a nice spicy pepper. If you don't like the pepper, then leave it out. But you can pretty much use any kind of pepper you want on this. You can get a sweet pepper. And Anaheim's pretty mild in terms of peppers. And guess what I'm using now? I got my new global knife. I paid $40 for this at the outlet on my birthday haul. And this is like one of the first times I'm using it. And it's a really thin knife. I really like it. And it's sharp. Next up, we're going to cut some tomato. And this tomato, wow, look at that knife. This tomato is just going to be cold on the top of our sandwich. This knife is awesome. I'll put a link in the description to this bad boy. But look at that. It's so sharp. I love it. And we're just going to give it a quick dice. So next up, we're going to dice a little onion. And me and Eric were just having a conversation about doing prep. And when I first started cooking, I didn't like prep everything in advance. I sort of would prep the first thing that needed to be cooked, and while that's cooking, I'm prepping the next thing. And one of the things I've noticed since I started just prepping everything in advance is it makes it a lot easier because number one, your attention isn't taken away from, say I'm gonna start out cooking onions like a lot of dishes do, and then I'm gonna chop other stuff while my onions are cooking, but my attention is taken away from the onions. And so, you know, it seems like it's efficient to do it that way, but to me, it's so much more efficient to have everything ready. So then I can prep, I can clean all this stuff up, and then I can start cooking. So then I have room to do everything. I'm not cluttered. Nothing's worse than being cluttered when you're a cook, because when your mind is cluttered, then your dish is cluttered, right? So we're gonna go ahead and get a dice on this. And you'll probably just need one small onion. I have 2 here. I recently, when I was at the store, I got a little crazy and I bought this like huge bag of onions. And so I have to figure out what to do with it. So ultimately, I think I'm going to go ahead and chop the whole bag and maybe baggie it up and throw it in the freezer in little individual bags. I'm not exactly sure, because if I don't do something, they're going to go bad. So I sort of learned my lesson buying a huge like 5-pound, 10-pound bag of onions. Next up, we have some garlic. And you can buy garlic that's already peeled, but I can tell you that garlic that's not peeled has a lot more garlic flavor. So if you're buying garlic that's already peeled, you'll probably have to use more. I'm sort of a garlic head, so I put a lot of it in there. It's kind of a pain because it's like this tedious peeling of it, but it's worth it. And we're just gonna mince this garlic up. Be careful with your fingers. Next up, bacon, right? I have 1 pound of thick cut, I don't know, it says black label bacon. I don't know what that means. Is that just a marketing term to make you think like it's special bacon? We're gonna go ahead and cut this into bacon bits. I'm gonna cut this whole pound up. We probably won't use it for this recipe, but the leftover bacon, I'm gonna use on potato. So it will definitely get used. And since it's the end of the weekend, if I don't cook it up, then it'll just sit in the refrigerator and we'll forget about it. So I won't forget about it like this.
You want that?
No, not with the bacon. So I'm just gonna cut this up into little bacon bits. And we're gonna make us some homemade bacon bits. You can even make a salad and put this on a salad. Just bake your potato in the microwave, put some butter on it and bacon. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. So can I pan geek for a second? I have my All-Clad Griddle here. What's great about this stove is this is my new stove and it has burners that will go all the way across. So we're gonna toast our bread on here and then ultimately this is gonna go in the oven with Eric's to melt his cheese. So we have a frying pan here on my induction burner and we're just gonna cook off our bacon bits here. And you can cook them to your desired doneness. I kind of like them a little crisp, so that's how far I'm going to take them.
Bacon. Bacon, bacon, bacon. Bacon, bacon. Bacon. Bacon, bacon. Bacon, bacon. Bacon, bacon.
Ooh, I love you, honey.
Bacon, smack!
Arr.
Get back from the bacon.
Step away from the bacon. Step away. So it looks like we have some bacon bits and it's cooked to my desired doneness. I don't want it like super crisp, but I don't want it to be soft. I want it to be just right.
Bacon's done. Now. Bacon's done.
So what I've done is I took the bacon grease out and I put some butter in there just because I'm like kind of picky about my eggs. If you saw my perfect fluffy scrambled egg video, you know that I like my eggs perfectly cooked and fluffy. So that's what we're gonna sort of do here. So I have some of my onion in here, probably a small onion that we diced earlier, and I'm gonna go ahead and saute this until it softens. So what I also have here is our griddle, and I put some butter on it because we're actually going to griddle our bread. And the reason I'm doing it this way is because I want the bread to be nice and griddled on the edge on the inside of the sandwich, but I want it still soft on the outside. So we're going to cook it this way. So I basically have 2 sub rolls. Make sure you get the fresh baked sub rolls. I liberally buttered it. Plus I have a little butter on our griddle. And I have our griddle just on medium heat. And we're going to put these here and we're going to toast them on there.
Now.
So we're gonna put our Anaheim peppers in here. Just put whatever amount you like. So I think our rolls are done here. Let me check. Yeah, that one could use a little bit more. This one I think is done. Ooh.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna put our garlic in here. Only want garlic to be in here for a short period of time, otherwise it will burn. Okay, I think my other bread is finished here. Wow, looking good. So this is done. I've lowered my heat way down, and we're gonna be using the technique that we did in my perfect fluffy scrambled egg video. We want these to have big fluffy curds. So what I've done is I have 6 eggs here. I have really beaten them at least 100 times. And we wanna cook this really low. And we're gonna put it in here and we're gonna let the curds form, then we're gonna move it to the center and let the liquid come out so we get big fluffy curds. We're not gonna break those curds up. If you like yours all broken up, then go ahead. I prefer mine to be separate. So we're gonna go ahead and put the egg in. And we're gonna let it set up. Snack on some bacon.
Now.
And we're just gonna pull. We're gonna let the liquid come down. We're gonna pull the curds to the center. We're just gonna let it set up again. We're gonna pull those curds in. And flip them. I don't want it to brown. So I'm just going to turn the heat off for right now. So it's time to assemble our sandwiches. Eric wants cheese on his. I obviously don't want cheese on mine. So we're going to assemble his first on this platter. I wiped it off and we're going to put that into the oven. So here's his bread. Ooh, it's still a little warm. And I'm going to put my bread on here. So first we got a nice buttered toasted thing there. And we're going to get some egg on here. You want egg on yours, Eric?
Maybe.
Wow, that looks a little bit delicious. Egg. More egg. Pile his pretty high. I think you want yours piled high, don't you, Eric?
Yeah, I don't want to die of starvation.
I don't think you will. Wow. Oh, that's a little on the toasty side. Okay. Might give him a little bit more bacon.
Thank you.
Be a little generous here. Cheese.
Maybe.
You want cheese, Eric? So I got some provolone here. You can use whatever kind of cheese you want. I'm going to put a little on this side. Then Eric's is going to be ready for the oven. I got the oven preheated at 350. So now we're going to assemble mine. And the only difference between mine and his is I don't have cheese. so I don't have to fuss with the melting it part. This smells absolutely fantastic. The eggs are nice and fluffy, just like I like them. We're gonna load them up. And because my sandwich is pretty much ready, we're gonna top me off with a little bit of tom-tom, maters. And I'm gonna put a little salt and pepper on mine because the tomatoes aren't seasoned. Just to top them off. Wow. Looks delicious. We're gonna put the lid on. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. Seriously? Ooh, be careful. There's bacon bits, it's attacking me. Look out. And so I'm gonna put Eric's on a little brownie pan here only because, woo, it's a little warm. Only because my griddle doesn't fit in the oven. My oven's a little small. So we're gonna go ahead and put this in the oven for a few minutes on 350 to melt the cheese. Okay, so our sandwich is out of the oven. And we're gonna go ahead, get a little thing, and we're gonna remove this to a serving plate. Wow, okay. We're going to give Eric a little bit of maters. You want maters, Eric?
Sure.
Maters for Eric. Hopefully I can actually get them on the sandwich. And a little S&P. We're gonna close this bad boy up. Holy cow. And I think it's time to have a feast. So we're gonna eat our bacon and egg breakfast sandwich with a little bit of lemonade. Perfect. And I don't know about you, but this looks fantastic. I don't even have to bite into it. I know it's gonna be great. And what's sad is you can't go to any restaurant, a diner, and get a nice little breakfast sandwich like that. It just doesn't exist. At least not around where we are. So we got bacon, eggs, Anaheim chilies, onion, garlic, tomato. You can even put avocado on this. Wow. 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 One thing that makes this sandwich great is toasting the bread so it's toasty on the bottom and then it's nice and soft at the top. This sandwich knocks it out of the park. It's absolutely fantastic. There's some bacon. The eggs are cooked nicely. I don't like them brown and overcooked. Wow. This bacon and egg breakfast sub is absolutely fantastic. This right here is, you make this and everybody will come around talking about, I want some breakfast. Because this sandwich is off the hook. And this right here makes me never want to go out to eat for breakfast again. I'll just stay right here and make one of these. It's that good. You'll love it. So go ahead and make it and let me know in the comments. You are going to absolutely love it. If you like this video, please subscribe below and leave me a comment and a like. Visit my website at amylearnstocook.com. I'm also on Pinterest and Twitter at Amy Learns to Cook. One thing that makes this sandwich great.